and today we are going to discuss IAM, Identity Access Management. In our last two videos, we have tried to cover the basic firewall configuration, DHCP configuration, LAN configuration, WAN configuration. If you have not seen those videos, you can please find in my channel where you can follow the basic configuration of the firewall, creating firewall rules, traffic filtering, and your web filtering. So now today we are going to touch two things. One is the VLAN configuration. So how you can create a VLAN configuration in your firewall. And second is we are going to show you identity access management, creating a users and how you can create some of the users of the firewall through which you can give a user authentication access to your internet. So let's start with the VLAN configuration. For VLAN configuration, we are going to do the same thing. We'll go to the network. So if you go to the network, you can see a section called a VLAN. So from here also you can create a VLAN configuration and tag a physical interface. So currently we don't see any VLAN configuration in this particular device. So we are going to add a VLAN configuration and name we are going to give a HR VLAN. So by department wise also, if you want to give a for VLAN, like for IT team, it's a separate VLANs, HR VLAN, management VLAN. So you can create those VLAN. Once you create the VLAN, you can also set up a rule that the VLAN can send the traffic between your LAN segment and VLAN segment, or you can restrict the traffic between your some of the segments. Also, the purpose of this VLAN is to create a small network, so where you can have a restricted access to that particular VLAN segment or the IP segment, so that the security can be improved, and also your HR or your other team like admin team should not have access to the management VLAN, or they should not have a access to your internal VLAN. So access based also you can do it. So let's see VLAN which interface we are going to configure. So we have a LAN port 1. So here you can select. So these are the WAN ports. So please remember, we are not going to create any VLAN in the WAN segment until and unless you have a separate WAN interface or a public IP. We are not going to touch the WAN segment. So LAN port 1, we are going to create a VLAN, and for what purpose? It is a LAN purpose. So VLAN ID we are going to give 200. You can give any number. So you can see the number you can use from 1 to 4094. I will say please avoid port number 1 because it's a default VLAN, so we don't use that. So here it is your first VLAN IP, so which we are going to create a static IP. So 172.168.0.1 we have already used. So here we are going to use a 172.168.2.1. You can use IP as per your requirement, but I'm just using a 172.168.2.1/24.250. Gateway we don't need because if there is no WAN interface or the gateway details is required, so we are just going to keep a static IP on this. So let's create a save. So it will take some time to create your VLAN. So once this is VLAN is created, we can see the VLAN segment on our interface of the network zone. So just wait for some time. Okay. So now we have created a one VLAN called HR VLAN, which should be visible over here. You can see there is a HR VLAN which I have created, and there is a bridge between 200. So this is a bridge between IP. Or this VLAN is tagged to a port number 1. Now let's see, we create a separate DHCP for this VLAN. So already there is a LAN port 1, DHCP 192.168.4.4 is there. But however, we are going to create a VLAN here for the separate DHCP. So here HR DHCP. So here interface, you need to select this HR VLAN. So this is a VLAN interface. So you are going to select this IP. So remember, we have given a 172.168.2.1 we have given for the VLAN interface, your static interface. So here we are going to start from 2.5 or 2.10. So we'll keep some of the IP free. And then we don't need much IP for the, so IP you should give as much as you require. If there are multiple devices, if there is a more IP requirement, any time you can increase it, but try to limit the IP so that unnecessary your IP collation or the domain is a lighter and smaller, so that your traffic flows can happen simultaneously and it can increase your network performance. So 2.100, so I will take a 2.100. Subnet slash 24, I will keep. Use interface IP as a gateway IP. So this is your gateway IP. So 1400 primary DNS. So use device DNS setting, that is your default 8.8.4.4.2.2. So this is, so primarily I will require, if you have a DNS server also, you can use that. My earlier video, I have covered that DNS configuration. You can follow that. But for here, I will use the device DNS setting. I'll click a save. So we see there is a VLAN created, and this VLAN is connected to HR VLAN 178.60.2.1, 178.2.200. So this VLAN is created and the LAN port. Now, this is a very simple step where you have created the VLAN and you can also connect your machines to the VLAN interface. Here, what you need to do, this VLAN, it is a upstream, right? In your network switch, also you need to have a tag with a VLAN 200, so that wherever the switch is having a VLAN 200, it will populate the same IP. So the VLAN ID need to be your VLAN 200, so which we have earlier shown over here. Interface VLAN, so you can check the VLAN ID. So your switch interface or the port also need to have a same VLAN ID. So that is a bridge ID 200. So VLAN ID is also 200. So currently I don't have a L3 switch, or don't have a VLAN capable switch where I can show you. But once you're connected, you can definitely get the VLAN ID and the same DHCP broadcast will happen. If any of you are getting a challenge, you're not getting the IP, please send me a comment or let me know. I will definitely guide you and help you how to create that. Okay, so the next part which we are going to discuss today in our video, so this is more about your authentication and identity management. So here what happens, so you can create policies and rules based on your VLAN interface or based on your LAN interface. So first what we will do, we'll create a couple of users and then we will set for this particular users, or the particular users on this VLAN should have a restricted internet access. So let's try to do that. So this default services configuration will be there. You don't need to do any changes on this. You can keep it. If you have a LDAP or radius server, in that case, you can do your authentication using LDAP or Active Directory or radius server, or Microsoft Entra ID is also supported. But here I am not using any of this AD, LDAP, Active Directory. So I am going to just create a groups and users. So I will create one group. It is called a HR group for my identity access management. Group type normal, I will create. Policy surfing quota. Okay, if you want to give any surfing quota, you can give unlimited bandwidth restriction and you can create a multiple. So here I'm just giving unlimited access time anytime, but you also have an option for the duration of access you want to provide. That can be also possible. Okay, network traffic, you want to give a daily bandwidth restriction or the traffic shaping you want to do. This is also possible. So both extremely limited user, moderate user. So I'm just keeping it run. Now SSL VPN policy. I'm not using any SSL VPN or client-led SSL VPN. So I'm not going to use this VPN policy over here. So that VPN policy, if you want to see, I will cover in my later video. Okay, group time. Sorry, allowed all that time. Save. Okay, so now I have created a group called HR group, and then I will create one user, HR1 group type. Sorry, I'll create one user, add user. I'll create one user called HR1, name Anirban. Okay, in this also there are two options, user and administrator. We are not going to give any administrator access to this particular user. This is a pure user. So this is a user. So here is all the password combination, which is by default you can use. I'm using one generic password. So, but your match need to be done as per the password policy. Email you can give anything, Anirban. Group, okay, this is the important part where we have created the group earlier, HR group. You need to select that group. Automatically this surfing quota, everything will be part of this, so it will come happen. So now here we will going to MAC binding. If you want to do, you can do it, but if the device you want to make it more secure, you can say okay, only for this particular MAC this VLAN or this policies is allowed. So I'm not creating any MAC binding rules right now. Okay, so once this is done, the last step, so you can go to the host service, IP host, add, create a HR VLAN, IP range 172.168.2.1 72.168.2.0. So here, this is a VLAN 200. Okay, so we have created a source VLAN. So now once you create the source VLAN, add firewall rule, new firewall rule, source zone LAN, sorry, add new item. Then you can search for HR. So here we can find the HR VLAN and we have given 2.0 series network and destination zone is WAN interface, apply service. Now here is the thing, if you want to use identity access management, you need to click this match known user and you need to create that group. HR group. HR VLAN policy. HR VLAN. So you are all set. So once you have created the VLAN and your switch is also capable to handle the VLAN 200, you can see there is a separate IP with a match known user which will broadcast your 172. So this will broadcast your 172.168 dot 2 dot series. So if you want to see that, you can see it over here. I have given the network IP interface 2.0. So okay, now the question is why I have given 0, because it's a network IP I have selected. So the starting IP is your network IP. So if you want to know about the subnetting network and the IP range, that also we can cover in our separate videos. Well, thank you so much. Have a great day and we will connect with you soon. Bye till then. So you can go to the host service, IP host, add, create a HR VLAN, IP range 172.168.2.1 to 72.168.2.0. So here, this is a VLAN 200. Okay, so we have created a source VLAN. So now once you create the source VLAN, add firewall rule, new firewall rule, source zone LAN, sorry, add new item. Then you can search for HR. So here we can find the HR VLAN and we have given 2.0 series network and destination zone is WAN interface, apply service. Now here is the thing, if you want to use identity access management, you need to click this match known user and you need to create that group, HR group, HR, VLAN policy, HR VLAN. Okay. So you are all set. So once you have created the VLAN and your switch is also capable to handle the VLAN 200, you can see there is a separate IP with a match known user which will broadcast your 172. So this will broadcast your 172.168 dot two dot series. So if you want to see that, you can see it over here. I have given the network IP interface 2.0. So okay, now the question is why I have given 0, because it's a network IP I have selected. So the starting IP is your network IP. So if you want to know about the subnetting network and the IP range, that also we can cover in our separate videos. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So I have tried to make a quick video, and please be connected with us, and I will help you with a more technical videos, more technical experience. So please connect it in this channel. Let me know if you want to have any topic or any technical support or help. If you require, you please try to send me a message. You can contact me. You can send me a message on the YouTube channel itself. I will respond you as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we will connect with you soon. Bye till then.